Cool, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I want you to do the following for me. Can you say hi to your neighbor and say, thank you? And then smile at them like you mean it, like you love them to death. There we go. One of the things I really love about Damian, I've been doing, this is close to our 20th demo for me anyway, and this is my fourth one, the third I can't remember. There's a lot happened this weekend. That I'm always conscious around when there's pressure that your true self comes out. We all know that, right? When you're stressed, when you are irritated, when you're grumpy. I understand, ladies, the hormonal, we get it. Let's not pretend, right? Guys, when you worry about money and you've got a provider and da-da-da-da-da, that your true character comes out. And one of the things I've loved about working with Damian is conscious around if we just remain calm and focused, we can get a lot done. And so having said that, one of the reasons that Damian asked you to do this is to get you grounded. But I'm not going to say any more. My name is Björn. Welcome to this masterclass. Very excited to have you. Two things I'd like you to do is welcome yourself and welcome Damian. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and welcome. And thanks for your patience yet again. I've asked everybody to take their shoes off because I love cooking barefoot. For me, it really connects you to the earth and it grounds you into your space and you really just become present with what you're doing. Another thing that I love doing when I cook and before cooking, stepping into the kitchen is understanding it really is a mindful practice. It's a space where we are connecting with food that is going to be nourishing us. And what's running through our mind, the thoughts we're creating, where our mind is at really goes into the food. I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, but you can taste love in food, and you definitely can taste if someone's angry and they've cooked you a meal. It's not very it's not the best meal you've ever eat. So for today, before we start, I really just want to do a few mindful exercises just to get us present, remove distractions. I think there's been a lot happening. We've been waiting, everyone's been in anticipation. So let's just clear the air, settle in, and I'm going to do a few things just by creating body awareness. So I'm going to ask you to just rub your hands together. As you're doing it, just breathe out anything that you might feel stuck, that's bothering you, nerves, anticipation, anything that doesn't feel quite right, that doesn't belong with us in the kitchen. Just let it go, rub it. And then I want you to separate your hands and hold your hands together and just feel. Close your eyes if it makes you feel, connect to that feeling a bit more. And just observe that feeling that you're feeling, and you can take your hands further apart and feel how it grows. I think a nice thing to notice, and the reason why I've asked you to do that, is understand that that energy is there, it's between you. Now if that energy is there between your hands, that energy is going into your food. So you're working with your food, you're touching your food, it really does carry through and adds to the vibration, adds to the love of what you're going to be eating and makes it so much more wholesome and so much more nourishing. Another thing that I like to do when I cook is really step into my body to understand what is it my body's wanting. Yes, I'm following a recipe, but that recipe might not be adapted to the needs of my body. So it is really tuning in and becoming aware of your body so that you can connect and be like, okay, cool, the recipe says 2 cloves of garlic, but no, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, I'm going to put 5 in. I like paprika, so I like a bit more smokiness, let me add a bit more paprika. This recipe doesn't have chili, but I feel like a bit of chili, I'm going to bring chili into it. It's really adapting it to what you want and to be comfortable, really remove the anxiety, the stress of overthinking the situation and being like, this is not my comfort zone, and really just finding the joy in it. So to do that, I'm going to take you through an exercise where we stimulate our 13 joints just to become present as to where our body is now and where we're at. So we're going to start with the left ankle, and I'm just going to ask everyone to rotate the ankle. Once you feel you've loosened it all up and got quite nice and warm, we're going to move over to the left knee. If you need a bit more space, step into the alleyway, whatever's comfortable for you. Make yourself comfortable. We're then going to move to the left hip, whether it be rotating it, do it in a way that your body feels comfortable and the way that your body allows you to move your hip. And really just feel the difference. Allow your body to open up, remove anything that's feeling stuck. Notice, how am I feeling? Is it stuck? Am I quite flexible today? Am I rigid? We're then going to go to our left wrist. Once you've moved the left wrist, we're going to go to our left elbow. And we're going to move the left shoulder. We're then going to move our seventh joint, which is our spine. So literally, your spine, if you don't know, starts from the back here and it ends in your tailbone. So you want to move it however way you feel comfortable, whether it be rolling it, just moving it around, just undulating your spine, really just stepping in. And then I want everyone just to stand and feel the difference between your left and your right. And if anybody wants to share, let me know. Let me know what you're feeling. Are you picking up anything? Lighter, more open on your left side. So you've literally opened up your body to be creative. You've created that space to come into the kitchen and really just be present in. We're now going to obviously have to balance it out. So we'll move over to the right shoulder. Take it for a little spin. Lubricate, massage. Get a cooking class and a massage in one lesson. I think that's a good bundle deal. We're going to do the right elbow. Let's do the right wrist. Then we're going to move over to the right hip. However that looks for you, whether it be lifting it, standing still, rotating it, however you feel comfortable. Let's move over to the left knee. Right knee, sorry. Got you there. And then we're going to move over to our right ankle. Alrighty, now everyone can just ground, breathe in, exhale it all out. And we're ready. Is everyone ready? Have we removed the distractions? And we're present in our body and we're ready to create. So today we're going to be creating Mediterranean tacos. When I came up with the recipe, I was given SA Olive as a sponsor. And I really just immediately went Mediterranean. Like, I've got a Portuguese background. And for me, that just felt like home, but I didn't want to do something everybody already knows, and I like being creative and playing around, so I thought, let's take a Mexican dish and make it Mediterranean. So we are going to be making, everyone will be making a brinjal chili. That will then be the filling, which will ideally be your refried beans in Mexican, or that we're now going to do aubergine chili. And then there will be a hummus in the white cup. So in your white cup, you'll have a hummus, which we will demonstrate with the help of the ladies in front. And then we are going to make an olive salsa, which will be in the little blue ramekin. It's got olives, you'll see tomatoes, chopped up parsley, everything in there. And then we are also going to be making pickled onions, which will all be demmed in front. So everybody at the back will be making the brinjal. And then in front, we'll be demoing how to make the hummus, the olive salsa, and the pickled onions. Awesome. So to get started, we're going to go with the brinjal chili so long. I'm going to ask everyone just to heat the pan up. Put your induction on.
Damien, just to be clear, P1 is like cold and P9 is smoking.
Yes.
What
so we're
number
going to
would you
go
like?
medium heat.
So P4 to start or P5?
Let's go P4.
Okay.
Thanks, Bjorn.
You're welcome.
Are we on here? No. Perfect. While we're doing that, I'm going to ask
I'll
if
sort that out for you.
one person, yes please, if you can get this on for us. One person in the group, if you could please chop the brinjal slightly smaller, otherwise they're going to be made bigger. I just want to quickly show one. So we're looking about this size. We just want to make it smaller so that it's easy to eat the taco.
Tech,
and
can
that
we
it
change
actually
the screen,
fits
please?
in the
Thanks.
taco.
Tech? Reggie, can we change the screen, please? So camera, we can pick up. Thanks.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Thank
I think
you so much.
just about in half. If you feel it's too big, a quarter should be good. But we just want to cut the brinjals a bit smaller. While we're cutting the brinjals, we're going to start heating up the onion. Now with brinjal, I prefer to fry it first, because brinjal tends to go soggy and mushy very quickly, and that's why a lot of people don't enjoy it. So I prefer to fry the brinjal first, remove it from the pan, and then start making our sauce and then adding the brinjal back in. That way you still have a brinjal that's firm with texture and hasn't mushed into your sauce and overcooked. So we are going to just slightly fry once you've cut the brinjal, I'm going to ask you also just to take some of your salt, sprinkle some salt on. All that does is it removes the excess oil and allows the brinjal to become more of a sponge. and takes away any bitterness that might be in the brinjal. Because if your brinjal's quite seedy, it also tends to be quite bitter. We're going to be using the olive oil to fry the brinjal in. But yeah, when your pans are hot, we're going to be working as a team, so let's communicate. I want to hear your voices. Awesome. How's everyone doing? You guys fine?
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. Are we all good this side? We've jumped the gun, but it's all good. Don't worry. So we're just heating the pan and we're waiting for the pan to heat. Once the brinjal, don't fry any onions or anything yet. It's all good.
Sorry, Damien.
If you can, just pop that back in here and then, cool. All good. We'll flow with it, improvise. Oh, are we good? We got an oopsie here.
A little bit.
Cool. So if your pans are hot, I'm going to ask you to drizzle some olive oil into it. The reason why we heat the pan first is that way we're using less olive oil. Also, aubergine acts as a sponge, so you'll notice it soaks up a lot of oil, but we don't want to make it to oil. Just a little bit, and then we can always add if we need. Perfect. Once your pan is hot and the oil's in, add your aubergines immediately. We want to season on top, yeah.
Oh, on top, one
Yeah.
in the pan.
No, we can put it on now, that's fine. And then you can, perfect. Awesome, so we're going to fry that until it's got a nice golden brown on it. We don't want it to go mush because it's still going to go back into the sauce. Yes, on the brinjals. Perfect. Are we doing good this side? Awesome. Got it. Love it. Cool. So we're then gonna literally just get it to get some color on it until it is what it is. We have fun.
Seems like people could get
Something
home
needed
here.
to be cleansed here, so we just threw a bit of
Don't worry,
salt.
there's a lot to do. So you're not just let that do now, and then you wait for the next. You wait for the next round.
Awesome. What we can do then is have the bowl that you took the brinjals out of close by, because once they're brown, we're going to take them out of the pan and put them back into that bowl. And then that bowl will keep the brinjals in there as we start making the sauce for the chili. Let me sort that out for you. A spatula. Have they not given us a spatula? Oh, golly. I'm going to give you this for the meantime. Don't burn on the gas, and then I'll organize the spatula for us. Do we have any students? Bjorn? Bjorn? Could you ask for a spatula for us for the front, please?
Yes, cashew nuts coming up, chef.
No, cashew nuts, spatula.
Spatula, of
Yes,
course.
that's the one.
It's the same thing. Spatula
Same
and
but
cashew
different,
nuts.
we got you.
I mean, really? It's like an orange and a lemon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Also, one thing, it's not going to brown if we keep moving it around. So let's just let it caramelize a bit. If it's burning quite quickly, drop the heat. If it's not off. And then, I'll come around and have a look. And then we can also, is yours even doing anything?
Yeah, I was doing it.
It's getting its thing. Okay, cool, perfect. We just want it to get a bit of color. We don't want it to go completely soft. And then we're going to transfer that into the bowl, and then we'll start creating the chili. I think while everyone's waiting, I'm going to get the ladies in front to start demoing the hummus for us. So try follow there, but not burn there. I think we can do that. We've become very present. We can multitask. And I'm sure there's a lady on every section, so we should be good. Cool. Perfect. So in the blender, you'll see on your recipe for the hummus, we're going to add the cannelloni beans over here. We're simply going to add the beans into the blender with our garlic. Yeah, they're doing it. So we're just demoing it. Try focus on your brinjals as well. And then we're going to add the lemon juice. Perfect. And then we've got a little bowl there with some spice. It's got our cumin, coriander, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to ask you also just to put a little bit of salt into that.
The cashews have
Awesome.
arrived.
Thanks, Bjorn. Sous chef. Awesome.
I did
there
go
we
to
go.
culinary school for the first day.
Hey. Cool. And then we're going to put a little bit of salt. And then I just want to double check on the recipe. I think it's a 1/4 cup. Butter bean hummus. No, 3 tablespoons. So over here we had measuring spoons. We're going to wing it. I'll do half of, yeah. So let's do half of this with olive oil. And we're going to put that in. With the hummus, what I recommend is looking at a more delicate olive oil. Otherwise, your hummus does get a bitter taste. And also, if you do find that it goes a bit bitter, add a bit of lemon juice. It tends to cut through the bitterness, and a little bit of salt as well. You guys can take yours out. Perfect. Once we've then added everything, we're simply going to put the lid on and blend it until it's very smooth. With cannellini beans, you want to use less liquid because they tend to go a lot more runnier than what you would if you were to do a chickpea hummus. You guys can take yours out.
Question.
Yes.
If it does become too runny, is there any way to fix it?
So the question over here was, if the hummus becomes too runny, is there any way to fix it? Add more beans, but if you do add more beans, you have to add a bit more spices, a bit more lemon juice, a bit more everything. Obviously, just adapt the recipe as you go. You guys can take yours out. You guys have got it. Cool, you're on it already. You guys can up yours a bit, up the temperature, and then I'd say go for about 2 minutes, but I'll come check on you and then you can take it out. Cool. How are we blending? Perfect. So we can just blend it a little bit more. If you also notice that the hummus is struggling to blend, add a tablespoon of water at a time. I like to use hot water. It just releases any natural fats that is present. And then a tablespoon at a time if it is struggling to blend. The reason why I say tablespoon, because you can always add more, but you can't take out. So go less rather than more. Perfect. So that's basically how we do the hummus that you guys have already had. It's add everything to a blender, blend it together. Next, we're going to make the sauce now, start the base for the chili. So being French trained, we always build flavors. So we're going to start with the onions. So I'm going to ask you to heat your pan up, drop the heat to more of a saute. So we're going to go about a P2 on the induction. How's ours? Yeah, we can take ours off. Perfect. Here we go. Sorry. We can pop it in there. Do you have it in your hand? Are we good? Cool. So once your pan is hot, add a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to saute the onions. I personally like to caramelize them because you get more depth of flavor, and it brings a bit of a sweetness into the sauce as well. But again, really listen to what you feel is right and what you want to do. There is no right or wrong. Do you want it more caramelized? Do you want it? Let's go for it. So we want to get a bit of color on it. Also, if you're going to caramelize, do not add the garlic until the very end because garlic goes bitter when it starts caramelizing. So you want to add the garlic last. Alrighty.
Very well done.
Perfect. And what's also nice is now you fried your aubergines in the same pan that you're frying your onions. So whatever caramelization took place of the aubergines, it's now coming off and going into the flavor of your onions. So you're layering flavors and flavors and flavors. Yes. Okay, let's go. We can take it off, put it into the bowl. Perfect. And then we can get once your onions are caramelized, we're gonna add the garlic, but only once they're caramelized. So don't rush it in, otherwise you're gonna have a bitter taste in it. Then we're going to add the garlic in, and the garlic we're just going to slightly saute for about 2 minutes, just to get it cooked and so it's not pungent and that raw garlic flavor. And then after that, we're going to start with our spices. So you like to cook the spices so that they have more of a toasty flavor and you don't have that powdery taste or that like raw spicy feel on your tongue when you're eating the sauce. We good? Yeah, we can add ours. We can also lower our heat a little bit just so that the garlic doesn't burn. And when adding the garlic, maybe drop the heat on your induction stove just so that it doesn't burn because it catches quite quickly.
And the ginger that's in the
Yeah, you can add both. All your aromatics, so your ginger and your garlic can go in. Same time. Perfect. We're good. Awesome. If you guys wanted to go a bit faster, you can take it up, but then just keep an eye and you might want to just keep stirring. Cool, cool. We good on this side? Perfect. Awesome. We got it now, ladies? Yes.
More onions and then minutes.
So when you're happy, if you want to caramelize, if you just want it sauteed, then you can add the ginger and the garlic. But when you add the ginger and the garlic, we want to drop the heat so that it doesn't burn. Just slightly cook it. You guys can actually start adding your spices, and you can add a bit more olive oil if you want. Also, just keep in mind, if there is a lot of olive oil, the aubergines, when you add it in, soaks it up. So you can, you can be quite generous with the olive oil. And then once you've done that, you can add your spices to the pan so long. These two. So that is your cumin and paprika, and then you got your coriander and your chili flakes. Perfect. I think you guys can also add your garlic so long. You can actually add a little bit more olive oil to the pan. And like I said earlier, with the olive oil, the aubergines will absorb whatever excess is. So if you feel it might be a bit too oily, the aubergines does absorb when you add it back in. Perfect. Yeah, that should be perfect. Someone's burning somewhere. Are we good? Everyone good? Cool. Just checking. Cool. Once you've added your spices, you're going to toast your spices in the pan for about 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then we're going to add 2 to 5 minutes based on the heat of your pan. And then we're going to add the tomato sauce. The tomato paste. Sorry, not tomato sauce. Yeah, you can add so long. Olive oil, yeah, you can add just a little bit. Perfect, that should be good.
Do you want the paste?
Yeah, then we're going to add the tomato paste. Yes, do we have a question? Spices first. Spices first. Are we all good? Cool, and then we can turn the heat up on this one just a little bit. Little. Perfect. Perfect. In a bowl, we're going to need another spatula then, or we can just use the spoon if you can, and then we can maybe just pop it into that. Yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. So if you've added your tomato paste, we want to cook the tomato paste out. The tomato is quite acidic. So the reason, this is the whole thing that I've learned from my culinary French training, is you develop flavor. So you start by layering it. So by putting in raw spices versus frying the spices, there's a big difference in taste. And with the tomato paste as well, by frying it, we're removing that acidic, very like acidy taste that the tomato paste gives to a thing. So by frying it, you're kind of eliminating that not so nice tomatoey taste. And then we are going to, once we've added that, we're going to add the olives. So once you've added your tomato paste you want to cook out for about a minute, 2 minutes, just to get that taste out, and then we're going to add our olives. Chopped olives. Yeah, so that's going to be after the tomato paste. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. We still good? We good, ladies? Yay. You guys good on the side? Cool. Awesome. Perfect. Like I said, as all, we've all come in, we've become present, so we're making the same recipe, but we're all unique, we're all in different spaces, so we're following the same recipe, but everybody's is going to taste different. You guys wanted something more caramelized, they might have wanted something more sauteed, so already the flavor profile changes. So it's really, there is no right or wrong, it's just doing what you want to do and finding the balance in that. Awesome. We're then going to add the olives and just slightly cook it for a bit, and then it's going to become very pasty. Once you've added the olives, then it's like you can fry that just for like about 5 minutes just to get the flavor of the olives into the sauce. Then we're going to add the salsa. So this salsa over here that I've used is the Santa Ana's tomato and red pepper salsa. You can use anything. You can go more, you can, instead of, if you don't want to do a whole salsa, you can add chopped tomatoes, then you just build more flavor. So then chopped tomatoes, you can add a bit more onion, you can add some more paprika, add red peppers to it as well, but I've left all of that out because that's all in the salsa. You can also use any salsa, whatever you have at home. Utilize what you have. It's just an easier way, a quicker way to get it go, more convenient. So I think you guys can throw yours in so long. Perfect.
What we put in next? This one.
No, this is this one. That's your salsa.
Is that the salsa?
Yeah, that I believe, yes, that was the right one. We're still gonna make our olive salsa. Perfect. You guys are all good. All good. So you've got your olives in. Yeah, we're gonna add this smoked tomato. The tomato and no, not this one. This one. This one is our topping. The saucy one. Yes, that's the one we're gonna be adding. So we're gonna add that one. Yeah, you've added your olives in already. Yeah, then we can add that one. Perfect. The other olive salsa is gonna be a topping for the taco. Perfect. Once you guys have done that, what you can do now is you can then let this cook for a little bit, about 5 minutes, just to get the flavors going. Also, if you want, you could add, if it's a bit too thick for you, add a bit of water, run it down, but I like it more thicky because we're putting it into a taco. You don't want it to run out. You want something that actually holds. Once it's fried a bit, we can add our brinjals. So now we're going to add the brinjals back in and just stir that through, and then you're going to drop your heat to a low heat because you don't want it to go soggy. So we can add the brinjals back into that, yeah, and then we're just going to mix it through.
This is the lowest though.
Lowest low, yeah, so we'll just keep it on low. Yeah, perfect. You guys can add yours in if you'd like. Yeah, go for it. And for those that cook with alcohol or wine or anything, when you're caramelizing your onions, after you've added the tomato paste, you can also add wine in there or I personally would also add balsamic vinegar and some soy sauce to bring a bit of umaminess to it as well. So you can literally build flavor and layer and add and take out whatever you want. Cool. While you guys are doing that, I am gonna get the ladies to demonstrate to us how to make the pickled onions. It's very simple. For pickling liquid, it's a basic ratio of 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of vinegar, and then 3 cups of water. 1, 2, 3. I don't use sugar. I prefer unrefined stuff, so I've used maple syrup, and therefore I've just done 2 tablespoons of maple syrup instead of cups. So what we're going to do, we're going to add to the pot, we're going to add our apple cider vinegar. Just that one. Going to add that in. Then we're going to add this bad boy, yes, our maple syrup. Then we're going to add our pickling spices. Whoops, we got it. I'm just going to ask, there's going to be students walking through with a tray. If you could just pass all your dirty dishes on to them,
Thanks,
just so
Damian.
that it's easier for them to get to. So then I'm going to ask if you can measure out 3/4 cups of water. So we've added our apple cider vinegar and our water to the pot. What we're then going to do is we're just going to bring that pickling liquid to a boil, and we're going to hot pickle the onions. So what you do is the pickling liquid comes to a boil. Once it's boiled, you've got your chopped onions in a jar. I personally put it in a jar, and just slices of onions. And then we're going to pour the hot liquid over the pickled onions, close the jar lid, and let it pickle. Simple. Straightforward. What's also nice is once you've finished using your onions, that pickling liquid can just be reheated, and you pickle the onions again. Every now and then you might have to top it up with some vinegar if you want something a bit more acidic. What's also nice is the pickling liquid then becomes infused with onion, so it's going to just become more and more oniony as it sits in onions, which is quite a nice little trick to use. So we're just going to bring that to the boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to do that. If your things are done, we don't want it to go pop, so on its lowest heat,
So what, P1 or P2?
P1.
P1.
The lowest. Are we still good? Is it good? Oh, it's looking very good.
Smelling good too.
Yes. It's all you. Great, guys. Awesome. So once it's cooked down, I'm just quickly going to dem the salsa. The ladies in front are going to help me to dem how we made the olive salsa, the topping. And then we're going to assemble our tacos, and that will be it. So for the olive salsa, we've got our chopped red olives. There's a mixing bowl at the bottom there. Yeah, we can just take all of that out. Cool, so we can keep the bowl, yes. Perfect, so to the bowl we are gonna add our chopped olives that we pitted. Obviously take the pits out, we don't want broken teeth. And then we are gonna add our herbs. That's our fennel and dill, chopped up, finely chopped. I'm then gonna ask the ladies who are brave enough to give us a fine chop on the basil. I'm sure we can do 2 people. Be careful, the knives are sharp.
Very sharp.
Very, very sharp. We've had a chef almost cut his finger off already.
Yes.
So please be very careful.
You want to arrive with what you left and more, not less.
Yes, and I'm not going to take responsibility
No.
for any losses.
No.
Um,
That was already in the disclaimer when you bought your ticket.
Yes.
If you lose your toes and hands, we're so sorry.
sorry. Cool, then we're going to add, I'm going to ask while the herbs are being chopped, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients along. So we're going to add the chopped red pepper, finely chopped. The finer you chop, the more easier it is. It's the more salsa it becomes that you can kind of like dip with it. Then we're going to add our chopped red onions. Let me jump in here and give you a hand. Sorry that my back is towards everyone. You got something? Perfect. We're going to bring it up to a boil first, and then we're going to pour that liquid onto the onions. So fine chop, keep your knives away from the blade, and just go at it.
Am I adding garlic?
Yeah, then we're going to add the garlic to that. The lemon juice. Going to ask you to season it with some salt. Drizzle some olive oil. The recipe does call for a certain amount, but I think we can just kind of go for feel. I think we've got enough cooking knowledge here.
Sorry, ma'am.
You
Just
can add a
careful
bit
not on
more.
the court. Thanks.
Perfect.
Very fine.
Awesome. So we want it quite fine because we don't want to be biting into chunky leaves. And it is a salsa.
throw
So
this away?
essentially you want to... it all goes in at the same time. At the end of the day, it's all going to be mixed. If you are a lazy chef and not in the mood for chopping, everything that needs to be chopped, you can put into a food processor and just pulse it. Don't blend it continuously because then you're going to end up with a mush. But if you just do slight pulses like zzz, 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 then eventually you should get the consistency of a salsa. I personally like to be in touch with my food and take the time. My food is my meditation and my time to slow down and really become mindful. So I take the time just to connect with it and chop, really knowing what's going into my body. Again, that energy we built up in the beginning when rubbing our hands, putting that into the food, which the food blender cannot unfortunately do. And then yeah, we're simply just going to mix all of that together, and then quick and easy, that's a salsa gone. It's also nice is you're not going to use all of it on your tacos. Keep it in a jar, keep it in the fridge. A quick add it to anything, to salad, to a bowl that you're making, or take out a bag of nachos, chips, just dip and eat salsa. Really, really nice thing. And that's what's really nice about the recipes here. It seems like a lot to do, but it's stuff you can prep in bulk, keep it in the fridge, pull it out and quickly throw something together. Essentially, on the night, you want to make this for dinner, all you'll be doing is making the brinjals, everything else in your fridge, ready to go as a staple. Awesome. Yeah, it's boiling, so no, we're going to pour this into that. So we're going to do that, and then, yeah, we can put that off. And we're just going to pour the hot liquid. All good, all good. Oh, is there a cloth there? Perfect. Then we're just going to let it sit. Then you basically just let it sit for at least about an hour or so, and that's why we obviously got yours pickled for you, ready to go. Cool, we're ready to build the tacos. So you'll see on your station there are 4 hard taco shells. What you can do at home if you're doing this for a dinner party or anything is before you're about to serve, pop the taco shells into the oven for about 5 minutes just to get them warm. And it just, like you'll see, they'll become a bit more oily and crispier. And then you just put it on the table and allow everyone to build for themselves. So what I like to do, I'm going to show you how I build a taco. Again, go with what you want to do. Have fun. Your toppings are there. You've got hummus, you've got pickled onion, you've got olive, and then your brinjal filling that you guys can go wild with. If anybody wants, I think there is scissors here somewhere. If you want to chop some herbs from the plants, go for it. add some herbs to it. But what we can do is, I like to first put my brinjals at the bottom, then I put my hummus, and then I put my other crunchy bits on top, and then just finish it off with some herbs. So have fun, build tacos. If there's any questions, shout, I'm here. Not going anywhere.
Oh,
We good? We understand? Awesome.
yum, yum, yum.
Perfect.
If anyone feels that they can't eat their food and they feel
I
they
personally
must
start
donate
with
it,
brinjals at the bottom.
I
then
have a
I go
volunteer.
hummus. Then I do my salsa and my pickled onions. So like kind of get the crunch and the textures all going. Awesome. There are some spoons as well and some forks in the utensils here that you can use.
And there should have been if you don't have a spoon, everyone should have a spoon. If you
Yeah.
don't have, let me know. You do? Yeah.
Yeah. Just let us know if you need anything. The hummus is in the cups as you want. There is no right, there is no wrong. Do what you want to do and what you feel right. I just gave you my preference, but that's me. Awesome. I'm sure it's going to be good.
So low cost.
Yeah.
So low effort.
Quick and easy. It is. Awesome.
I need to catch you doing something.
What do you
Oh,
need?
doing
Can
something.
you spoon-
Stir. Yeah. Can I spoon your taco for you?
If you want, you can make it an all-nighter.
Perfect. Oh, there we go.
Trust Joe to instigate that.
And then you're going to spoon my taco.
Would you like a spoon? It's very warm.
There's another empty one if you want.
Go for it, guys. Have some fun. Build your tacos. Some hummus. There's some salsa, pickled onions. Okay, cool. How's everyone feeling? Confident? Enjoying it? Perfect. Cool. Are we all good? Does anybody need anything? But I love some wine. Bjorn, do we have wine to give away? Do we have wine to give away? No. Okay. Okay.
If you want wine, you need to go to the Valparaiso store, and then you can have wine. Wine and tacos.
Wine and tacos is such a combo.
That's totally right. I agree.
Awesome.
Also, sangria.
Sangria. There we go. Then we're going full on Mediterranean.
Oh, yum.
Taking it way back to Italy.
100%.
Awesome. A little container. Can I give you a lappy thingy? Because I don't know if there is. Oh, sorry guys. You were behind me. It's like I almost forgot about you. And then can we just before we go get a round of applause for my sous chefs? They were amazing. Thank you. You guys did great. And I hope everyone enjoys. And like I said, adapt it. Have fun, play, add more spice, add less spice. It's good. Spicy.
Very, very good.
Awesome.
All right, guys, I think that was absolutely incredible. I know you waited long, but I honestly believe that it was worth the wait. I'm hearing what was that, Godfrey? There we go. So
go.
thank your neighbor with a Give yourselves a round of applause, and let's give a whoop whoop and a well done to Damian.
Woo! Well done, guys. Well
Thanks,
done.
guys.
You did
Have
well.
a wonderful afternoon.
Don't leave anything in the pan. Take it with you.
Yes, please. And if you can
Scratch
go
it all
and
out.
can we drop the music? I'm competing. Thanks. And if we can ask you to go enjoy your food in the lounge, because the other one demo started 25 minutes ago. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful afternoon further.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.